All right, guys. Hey, we're back. Thank you for joining in. Today it's wet. You guys know it's been raining, it's wet, but I kind of been wanting to do a test on something I built. So I said, well, I'll just make a video on it and then kind of show you what I've done to the trailer so far and what I'm going to do. But we're going to load the tractor up on the trailer. I built some chains that you guys might like, and I'll show you. And I haven't tried it yet. It's in theory. I've built them. I'm gonna put them on the tractor and we'll see how it goes from there and see how they work and how they chain down the tractor and see if we like it. So we'll hook up to the trailer, get the tractor loaded up. I'll walk around and show you what I've done to it so far and what I am going to do to it. And hopefully the wind ain't too much, but let's do that. Let's hook up to the trailer. We'll come back in a minute and after we've hooked it up and loaded the tractor, and we'll talk about what we've done. First of all, we got to get the plow unhooked, and then we'll get the truck started and get it backed over there, and then we'll get it loaded up on the trailer. So let's get the plow unhooked first. Well, no, let's go ahead and get the truck. I'll show you guys something anyway. So when I ordered this truck, and I think most of you guys watched some of the video where I ordered the truck, I ordered it with a fifth wheel prep group. Now I'm not short, guys, and I ain't the tallest guy in the world, but I'm telling you what, this tailgate, it's even a stretch for me. But with the fifth wheel prep group, you get this nice thing in the bed here. Now Mopar, which is Ram's brand, they had this, but I went with a B&W, and it's just a drop-in ball here, and that drops in like that. These for the chains, just got to line them up. All right, Joey, how you do it? All right, up, over. There we go. So that chain will go in there. I have enjoyed driving this truck. I haven't drove it that much. Doesn't have it 2,000 miles on it. But it's been pretty good so far. It is rough on fuel, and especially at $4, $5 a gallon. So if we got a fifth wheel, the fifth wheel goes here, 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 and here. Puck system, I think is what they call it. P-U-C-K, puck system. So we'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and get this out and put it in the corner. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. So let's back up to the trailer and see what she does.
rib line up.
I'm not looking, you just say no.
Okay. Come on.
Give me a little bit of brake release.
Oh. Put it in park. See if that goes.
I like that. Okay. Go down with it.
Roll it away.
Alright guys, we'll get the wraps down and we'll get her loaded up here in a second. Probably gonna have to let these ramps in some. If I had to guess, I'd say that one that way.
They go in all the way.
You better be right. If my hat blows off, y'all don't laugh. It's windy. There it goes. It's always about halfway scary riding up that ramp. That's a pretty steep ramp too. So we're actually going to take it and I'm going to ride it down the road just a piece. Maybe come back and just see how it rides. So now we'll get into what I wanted to show you. So with the trailer so far, I've put brakes on it. Not brakes, tires. So we've put some Carlisle 235/16. I believe, I remember him saying they were 12 ply. And so I got a set of 5, 4 on the trailer and 1 spare. I rebuilt some electric stuff on the winch, and I got a new winch controller button. And so we did that. And what I did, you see these plates here? I made some plates that'll go here with a little bit of chain. And then of course the chain is going to go here, and then we're going to ratchet it up off of the side of the tractor here instead of going across the bell housing with anything. Of course I had to re-tap these threads out when I did it, because I have never hooked anything on this side, and I would probably be safe in saying nobody else has ever hooked anything on this side. I could put the plate here if I wanted to, but I'm gonna put it here. So I'll show you these plates I got. And this is just an ideal, guys, that come up out of my head. I have no idea if it's gonna work or not. Brother Scott, you will appreciate this. These were cut from a 40-20. I don't know what part of the 40-20 they come off of, but Roger said that they were part of a 40-20. So it ought to hold pretty good. Trash. You know, I don't know how much equipment I would be able to drive up on this trailer with. I would have to go in reverse. So the ideal is to put this plate on here like this. All right, now start. And if I got my impact out, which I'm not going to use the impact today, but if I got my impact out, and so the dog's going to hook here, and I got a short piece of chain I'm going to hook here and put the dog in between it and ratchet it up on the sides. Then I was thinking I would probably just do a clevis on my hitch and come back here and here and pull that backwards, and then I'll hook the winch on the front with a strap and pull that front. So let me do all of that so we won't bore you to death. It won't be a 2-hour video on loading the tractor. And let me get it all hooked up, and I'll show you what I hooked up and why I hooked it up. All right, so we got it all hooked up. We'll show you that in just a second here. I got me a new controller, and this thing came with this type of wiring harness right here. So I rewired a new one in, soldered all the ends, shrink wrapped it, taped it, did that inside the control box of the winch, just made sure all those connections were fresh. So you can see my ideal here, guys, is chaining down to that. I don't have to have anything over the top. And I guess, I don't know, I probably could get away with just pulling the strap with the winch up front and having something on the back, so having 2 points. But I just wanted to try to have 4 points of contact, but I didn't want to run a chain up over that bell housing, and so that was what I came up with, is making those plates and those chains and hooking it here. Now this back chain, I'll probably get a different chain for this. This just happens to be my pull chain. It's about 50 foot long, so it's got a lot of slack in it. And you can see my ideal there, you know, hooking it so that would get any forward motion. It's not as tight as the front one, but I think she'll ride. We're gonna take it down the road and just see how she rides. I may take it by the store and put some fuel in it. But I just wanted to see how it would ride and check it out from there. But I don't know that this will be the end of the video. We might show some unloading it and unchaining it, but I wanted to show you this much so far. So we're gonna take it down the road and see how it does and see if the chains loosen up and what happens. All right, we'll be back in a little bit. All right, we're back. Took it up the road, went and showed Roger the trailer. I think it did pretty good. I mean, that chain is about as tight as it was when it left here. This is about as tight as it was when it left here. Well, the only thing about here, it may have always been like that. The only thing about tightening it up here is that, you know, that drawbar's got a lot of slack in it. So maybe this right here is just for good looks, I guess. But the one on the front and the two on the side stayed pretty tight. But other than that, other than making some other, I mean, I guess I could have went through the rims with it. And that might be better. Lay a piece of cloth in there and go through the rims with it and tighten it up off the rims. The drawbar may not, it's a lot of slack in that drawbar. You guys know that, it moves around a lot. So I don't know, we may change this chain to going through the rim and just go through both sides and get it like that. But other than that, we'll, and that side right there is still pretty tight. And I think the winch, yeah, the winch is still pretty tight. So it's just a lot of slack in that drawbar system. I ain't sure if I really like that or yet. May come up with something else. I don't know. I may come up with some sort of hook, but I don't want to mess too much with the drop down housings. Those things they're brittle anyway. But anyway, we'll get some shots of us unloading it. Appreciate y'all watching, getting real close to 2,000 subscribers. And man, it means a lot to me, and I thank you so much. And we'll see you, and when it dries up, we'll do a little bit of cultivating, planting corn, and I'll bring you along for putting the brakes on it and getting it rewired. Hope you like it. We'll see you. God bless you.